In today's video, we are going to break down debunking because there are many people that are using it, I would say incorrectly, to justify bad eating habits while training in the gym. So we'll break down whether it's worth it for you or not. So the question is, I am a fairly skinny guy and I want to put on some muscle. So I've been thinking about starting a dirty bulk, but my friend that already goes to the gym thinks I shouldn't. Wouldn't it be better for me to build on more size quicker? Let's get one thing straight off the rip. Dirty bulking for the majority of people, especially new lifters, is an excuse to have poor eating habits while going to the gym. They want to use the excuse of being productive and building more muscle than if I didn't dirty bulk to justify eating terribly. Basically, they like going to the gym or want to start going to the gym and they just don't want to track things. They don't want to be on top of their diet like that. So the key thing they're trying to do is justify terrible eating habits by assigning themselves the title of I'm dirty bulking, which is basically granting themselves an excuse to eat as much as they want in the goal of building more muscle than if they didn't.
Not a great plan.
It's a lie, it's a farce. I've done it myself, so I know it's a lie. And this is the physique we're looking at after the lean bulk, and this is me right now. When I was day bulking, I was basically trying to give myself an excuse to not have to track calories because I was cutting for like a fair bit of time. I was basically like, you know what? I'm just going to loosen the reins a bit. I've been tracking my calories, doing that stuff for ages. I just kind of want to let things go. And in that scenario, it's fine. The problem comes is when people start lying to themselves saying that it's going to yield more muscle growth than if you just did it more gradual, which is not the case. When you end a day bulk and you end up like 30 something pounds higher and a good chunk of his body fat, it's an effort to get off, especially if you're someone that didn't incorporate cardio. So the first thing I'd say is listen to your friend and do not go for the day bulk if your true excuse or reason is it's going to build more muscle. It's not going to. Now, I would say you can go for a day bulk if you accept and acknowledge that it won't build you more muscle, but you just personally do not feel like you have the time or want to be as pedantic as tracking your calorie intake that much apart from your protein. So in your day bulk, at the bare minimum, track your protein. But I would say if you're someone that's kind of is like, you know what, I'm fine with at the end of it knowing that I've got to spend a little bit longer to cut off the excess fat that I'm going to gain. If you're someone that's resided and will accept that, then it's fine. Go ahead, go day bulk, enjoy your food. But I have to be brother TJ here, at least say to you guys, when I tell you, when I did this day bulk here where I gained, I think I was 30 pounds higher than my lean weight at this point, it was an effort to get off, and it was mainly because I did not do any cardio throughout this period. So I went from basically doing like extreme amounts of cardio when I was lean, like on the left, and then I went and bulked up. And when I tell you that I was just running out of gas doing simple things, walking up steps, I was tired. When I was doing all sorts, I was just out of breath very, very often. I did also get very, very strong for my relativeness. Like I was benching like 2 plates, like for like 12 reps. It may not sound crazy to some people, but before I started the bulk, I was doing like 2 plates for like 2 reps. So my reps went up by 10 for multiple sets. So I was definitely happy with my strength increase, but I definitely noticed that I was much more unfit. So if you're someone that is even going to think about doing a dirty bulk specifically, make sure at least once to twice a week, you're doing at least 15 minutes of cardio, and not just like cardio where you walk on a treadmill. Do something a little bit more faster paced, whether it's the Stairmaster or cross trainer or the exercise bike or even the rowing machine. Don't just do like a leisurely walk. You need to make sure your cardio endurance like is fairly good. Like keep your heart safe during this period. Don't just let yourself just fall to shit, because trust me, this thing right here was a ball ache. So for some of you watching are like, but I'm a skinny guy, wouldn't it be better for me to get into a bigger surplus so I can start gaining size? It doesn't have to be a day bulk though. Like a day bulk really is like a good chunk of weight more. Like it would be like damn near like almost 600, like 1,000 calories more than you normally would eat on average. I would personally say that for most people that get into like doing a bulk period, as you want to try and keep it gradual, 150 to maybe like 400 calories is like the margin you want to try go with to eat more. And then I would take it gradual. I wouldn't just every single week knock up the calorie number. What you should do is you add on that, say 200 calories to your daily amount of calories that you have. If after 1 week you've gained not much weight or nothing at all, then you can bump it up to like 250 or 300 calories. Then if you notice the next week, oh, I've gained 1 pound, I would keep it at that 300 excess. Don't just automatically knock it up to 350 or 400. Keep it at that until you stall in weight gain again. Then you can consider moving it up. As long as you don't look sloppy in the mirror, then you can move up again. But if you start looking chubby, this is when you need to stop and either dial it back a tiny bit or stay at that point. Don't get to the point where you've passed chubby and you're looking like you're fat. Because if you're skinny, the chances are that you're probably going to end up gaining way too much fat and not enough muscle anyway. The good thing is, at least in this person's scenario, they're a beginner, which means their rate of muscle gain is going to be a lot faster. But if you're someone that's probably been training for like 3 years and now you're considering a day bulk, the chances are you will gain much more fat than you will gain muscle. It wouldn't be worth it, in my opinion. Like, if anyone's going to day bulk, not that I recommend it, it should be someone that is underweight that needs to basically gain body fat as well, because you're going to find there's many people out there that are really, really skinny and they need muscle and fat. It's not just a case of building muscle and physique. They have a very low body fat to the point where it's damn near unhealthy, so they need to move up. Ideally, you don't want to just get all these calories from cookies and stuff. Try and eat proper actual food. That is another thing that people often fall into when it comes to day bulk. The types of food they choose is always like their cheat meal type foods. They're not eating high calorie like steak and salmon and stuff. They're still eating similar to what they ate before, but they just added junk on top of it to get the calories up. And that's not the way to do it, because you will definitely gain more fat then. So that is something to definitely make sure you got an eye on. The quality of food you're eating during your bulk, whether it's lean or dirty, the extra calories shouldn't come from shit. Now, I do believe when you're bulking, you can give yourself a little bit more leeway. So say if when you're normally lean or a normal person eating, you may only eat like, say, 20% of junk and snacky foods in your diet. If you're bulking, me personally, I didn't mind moving that up to 30% and sometimes even 35%. It gave me like an extra meal out with my girl or an extra meal out with friends. That's perfectly fine, where I kind of eat like a massive burger, fries, and a milkshake, maybe more frequent than I normally would. Personally, I'd say, yeah, I am okay with the fact knowing that it's not the most optimal thing, but it's something I want to factor in and enjoy during this period. So it all comes down from perspectives, the lifestyle that you live, and making sure you're not deceiving yourself. That's the biggest factor, to be honest. If someone just said to me they want to do a day bulk and they specifically said, I know it may not gain crazy amounts of muscle, but it's something I want to do. I haven't got time to track everything, but I'm going to make sure I at least hit my protein. I'm going to be progressing with the weights. I just want to have that little bit of ease off the gas. And I know it'll take a little bit longer to cut, but I'm willing to do that. Someone said that to me, I'll be like, yo, go ahead, bro. But if someone starts telling me the jazz of, oh, I'm going to build much more muscle for day bulk, so I need to do that, that's when I'm like, bullshit. So that is just my view on it anyway. But in general, in most cases and most scenarios, if you're someone that's watching that is somewhere in the headspace of what this guy said, I would probably recommend steering away from the day bulk. If you're someone that is fairly thin and needs to gain weight, just gradually start bumping up your calories and eating good quality foods where you can. And eventually you will start looking better. Take your progress photos once every 2 to 3 weeks, same pose, flexed and unflexed. If you want to be extra or really on it, get a measuring tape as well so you can start tracking things like your biceps and areas that you want to see grow, like your chest and your back. And these are things that you'll notice like over time is good to have, because it's good to see where you've been. Because like a year from now, 2 years from now, you can look back on the measurements and the photos and really see the changes. I wouldn't just go for the day bulk naively thinking that it's the answer to your problems, because it's probably not. Anyways, people, thanks for watching. If you are someone that needs help with building muscle, losing fat, or coaching in general, click the links down below and I can reach out to you with one-to-one coaching. If not, be sure to check out this video here if you want to see another tip video.